What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Abita Brewing Company, and they're headquartered in Covington, Louisiana, and this is their Bananas Foster Stout. So this is a malt beverage with natural flavors that comes in at 8.5% alcohol by volume, 25 IBUs at the time of review. And this bottle is just under 3 months old. So I'm reviewing this one as a shelfie beer for the month of June 2025. And I picked it up because the last beer I reviewed for them was their vanilla triple dog. It was basically a vanilla imperial brown ale. It was quite tasty, a little heavy-handed, I'd say, on the vanilla, but still pretty damn good. So I saw this one, I was like, I got to give it a go. I know Bananas Foster, I think, was originally created in New Orleans, so it makes complete sense that a Louisiana brewery would have their take on this one. So it says on the back here, indulge in a rich and decadent experience with this brew, inspired by the iconic New Orleans dessert. This stout marries the deep roasted notes of a classic stout with the sweet caramelized flavors of bananas, brown sugar, and a hint of vanilla. Interesting, they don't say rum because I'm pretty sure they flambe it with the rum, but we'll see. It just says malt beverage with natural flavors. It's an Imperial Stout, technically, but is it a beer? Yeah, it is. It's just a lot of breweries. Wow, that smells like straight up bananas, but like sweet bananas, candied bananas, banana runts. Okay, there we go. We'll do it like that. It's a little bit crooked. Does anybody care? Not really, but anyway, let's pour it into the glass. Now, I want to give a shout out to a very good friend of mine and fellow beer tuber, Jonah, over at 62 Beer Reviews, because I saw that he posted a review of this. Time I'm reviewing this maybe like 2 or 3 days ago, but by the time you see this, maybe like a week and a half or so, maybe 2 weeks. But yeah, he posted a review. I didn't watch it, and the reason I didn't watch it is I didn't want to be influenced by anything he said. But I did see his Untapped check-in, because he, like me, posts Untapped check-in the same day that he does the review typically, and he gave it a 4 out of 5. I didn't read the his description or anything, so he gave it a 4 out of 5. If I remember, in the top right-hand corner of the video, I'll post a link to his review if you want to see somebody else's take on it, if you disagree, agree with me, or you just want to see somebody else's view on this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this around because, as you can see, it has all the finger smudges there. So what does that look like? Absolute beauty in a glass. It poured out like a very dark brown into like not pitch black, but definitely like a dark, deep brown. On camera, that looks pitch black. Has about a finger and a half, we'll say, yeah, about a finger and a half of a beautiful, like khaki colored head. I'd say the head is a little bit lighter than I like my coffee to look, but kind of not far out from it. So kind of looks like that. And yeah, you can't really see through it. There is some, I'll bust out the contraband flashlight if you want to see like a little bit at the bottom here. Now you're really not going to see much, right? But yeah, maybe just a little bit at the bottom there. See how it has almost like a Coca-Cola color, but I'd say the beer is close to pitch black. But yeah, looks beautiful in the glass without question. Oh yeah, also has some legs up here. I don't know if you'll see them. Yeah, you can see like the line. See the line going around above it? So a little bit of alcohol legs as well. Let's get a nose. Yeah, it smells like Bananas Foster. That is wild. So huge brown sugar caramelized flavors or aromas or aromatics, but it also has a nice vanilla tinge. There's a little bit of like a caramel, but it is candied banana, unfortunately. So the fact they're saying natural flavors, I'd imagine they're probably not brewing this one with real bananas. They're using a natural banana flavor from a natural property in this world, but it's coming off as banana runs. That is unfortunate. Don't get me wrong. I'll fucking smash some banana runs. I'm fat. I love banana runs. I love runs in general, right? I haven't had runs in probably like 15, 20 years, but the banana ones were the best, at least in my opinion. I would just say they're best, but they were so different than the rest of the flavors with the runs that it was like you save that and it was like more of like an experience with that. But I don't know if I necessarily want this in an 8.5% Imperial Stout, I just love that mixture. It has that beautiful caramelized brown sugar cinnamon kind of mixture. I just love those 3 flavors specifically blending together. There is a little bit of like a chocolate. So I'm getting like a chocolate covered banana, but if it was a candied one. Yeah, there's chocolate, vanilla for sure. A little bit of roastiness. You know what? I take that back. I was just saying roastiness because I'm like, oh, it's a stout. Should have roastiness. Not really. It's more chocolate, more vanilla. Yeah, I mean, the natural flavors are dominating. This is a tale of 2 beers in the nose. I love the fact that they kind of nailed Bananas Foster to some degree, only if the banana character wasn't as candied and unnatural as it smells. If it was real authentic banana, like overripe bananas, this would be like one of the best noses on a beer I've ever had. Not only from Abita, but just like in general. They like kind of nailed it, but kind of didn't. Smells really good though. Hopefully the banana character isn't as candy. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. This is a very complex and weird beer. Like my palate just went on a roller coaster of a ride that I wasn't prepared for. That was kind of wild. Let's go back in. First things first, I can tell this is boozy. 8.5%. A lot of breweries nowadays, when you have an 8.5% beer, hide the alcohol well. This does not. But maybe it's on purpose because you kind of want to know it has that, kind of rum kind of character, which is boozy as a spirit. I do get a little bit of rum character, which we'll talk about momentarily. Let's go body mouthfeel. Body for 8.5%, bit thin. This is like medium, maybe a touch over medium. I like to see this definitely higher side of medium into low full, but it's just a bit thin. Not super thin, just a bit thin, touch thin. The mouthfeel is really nice. Moderately carbonated, but has a nice smoothness and a little bit of creaminess on the second half of the palate as it goes down. So body, a touch thin, mouthfeel really nice. The taste, unfortunately, that candy banana has carried over, but it's not as extreme as it was in the nose. The nose, straight up, basically banana runts. In the taste, banana runts mixed with an overripened, like, kind of like you almost have to trash the banana. That's how overripened it is. Kind of that very sweet banana. So there's an omnipresent, to me anyway, banana character. Overripened banana meets candied banana, candied banana runs. Combination of the two. So it does have that natural kind of feeling that I wish I wasn't there at all. As it passes through, that caramelized kind of just the flavors, the brown sugar, the cinnamon, there's vanilla. That all hits along with this nice like underlying sweeter milk chocolate vibe from the base stout. Just combines between the bananas and the chocolate and everything else. I think I mentioned this in a prior review. I forget what beer I reviewed. I think it was another banana beer. But we used to make, when I used to go camping in northwestern Pennsylvania, as a kid, we'd make these things called banana boats. You'd basically cut open a banana, slice it in half, and then you put whatever you really want, but you could put like marshmallow fluff, peanut butter, chocolate, and you would just melt it over the campfire, and it would just become one gloopy mess of deliciousness, very sweet, right? It's almost like you had one of those, but you sprinkled some banana runts in there for whatever reason, and then you did put chocolate in there. You put some vanilla, but instead of or I shouldn't say vanilla, instead of the like a lot of marshmallow or peanut butter, you'd replace that with like some brown sugar and then like a sprinkle of cinnamon. That's kind of what I'm getting. It's not straight on Bananas Foster, only because of the candy banana. Just kind of, I've never had Bananas Foster that had a bananas run flavor at all. But the thing is that I think they've nailed the vast majority of the flavors in this. There's even a little bit of a boozy, I wouldn't say rum, but like a boozy spirit character. And I don't know how they get that. Whatever natural flavors you're using. You can tell it's not barrel aged, but if I was doing this blind, I might be tricked into thinking this is barrel aged. It finishes with a actual pretty firm dryness. No bitter to speak of, but it's very dry in the finish. Don't get me wrong, this is a rich and decadent beer, but it's not cloying, which I appreciate. So this, to me, is a tale of two beers from Abita. One that I think for about 75% of it, they kind of nailed. And then for the other 25%, they totally didn't. But I think it's good, and I think I'm going to finish the rest of this. In fact, I'm going to save some for my dad. I think my dad likes bananas and certainly any kind of banana dessert, so I think he would appreciate having, probably 4 or 5 ounces of this and seeing what he thinks. 8.5% boozy on the palate. Like I said, it has a booziness to it. A little warm in my chest, but it's not astringent. Just like, again, boozy from the aspect of, was this barrel aged? Probably they might have like rum flavors in this, but I don't know. But I really like it has like that, to me, when I said it's dry on the finish, it has that like drying like cinnamon dryness, if you've ever experienced that before. This is a good beer. That's kind of where I'll leave it. This is good, getting close to like the very good realm, but I'd say it's just good. Good to very good. Depends on who you are, I guess. One more sip and we'll lock in a rating. I like the flavors. I just wish the banana flavor didn't have any of that candied kind of flavor to it. Like I said, I like banana runs. I don't think it belongs here. But outside of that, they did a pretty good job. So the two negatives for me, candied banana, a little bit too prevalent, and it's a little bit thin for what it's supposed to be, but I do like the mouthfeel. I think they did a pretty good job with the vast majority of the flavors. I like that it has a dryness, so it's not too sweet. So I think I'm gonna leave this beer with a rating that I think makes sense in my puny little brain. So Bananas Foster Stout from Abita, I'm gonna give this a straight on 4 out of 5. I'll say 4 point. No, I'm gonna go 4 out of 5. I think that's where this beer belongs. 4 out of 5 sounds good to me. And I would say you can get your hands on this and you're in Louisiana or wherever you see Abita distro, give it a try. I mean, I don't think you dislike it. I don't. Although maybe you will. Maybe you think that candied banana flavor is a little bit too off-putting. Price point availability. In my neck of the woods, I saw this at 2 different places. One place it was $12.99. The other place was $13.99 for a 6-pack. It's an 8.5% Imperial Stout that's supposed to mimic Bananas Foster. Yeah, that's a great deal. If you can get this anywhere between like $12 and $15, I would say grab it if you want to check it out. But I always advocate on my channel buying a single. Do not go into it buying an entire 6-pack if you're unsure. Because then if you try one, you're like, it's not for me. And then you have 5 other. You could share it. You can give them away or whatever, but why? Buy something else. And availability is Abita. I don't have, listen, when it comes to Abita, I just know here in Buffalo, New York, in New York State, I've been drinking Abita since the early 2010s. First beer I ever had from them, I think, was either Turbo Dog or Purple Haze. My memory's getting hazy, but those are like 2 of their flagship beers back then. By the way, I just saw that they tweaked the recipe. They reformulated the Purple Haze recipe. I'm going to have to review that at some point. I reviewed it a couple years back, I think, or maybe like a year and a half ago. So I don't know, something like that. But it says that now more raspberries and so on and so forth. So at some point I might have to review it as a shelfie beer. But yeah, if you get Abita stuff, you should have seen this one. If not, then I don't know. Distro's weird nowadays, right, Chaz? Chaz, if you watch this one, you know what I'm talking about, buddy. So anyway, if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. I would love to hear what you guys thought about it. I'm definitely going to go check out Jonah's review. I'm curious to see what he said. Like I said, he gave it a 4 out of 5, somewhere in the realm that I did. But I wonder if he picked up on the candied notion like I did, and also what his overall feelings on this one were. I do think this is good. It's just not great. And, I'm fine. It's Abita. They're a cheaper brewery as far as like price point is concerned. They're a bigger brewery as well as far as regional, regional brewery goes. So it is what it is. Anyway, I'm shutting this one down. Appreciate it. To the next one, like I said, 8.5%. You can definitely tell, but I'm okay with it. Kind of expect it. Cheers.